Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're zeroing in on our executive audience, specifically you CFOs and finance leaders out there, because we need to tackle a pretty massive structural challenge that's probably happening in your boardroom, like right now. We're going to break down exactly how organizations evaluate and approve AI expenditures, and, more importantly, where they're getting it totally wrong. Look, budgeting for AI isn't just some dry spreadsheet exercise, it's a strategic maneuver. So today, we're going to dig into the absolutely crucial differences between CapEx and OpEx thinking when it comes to artificial intelligence.
Section 1. The AI Budgeting Trap. Let's look at CapEx versus OpEx.
All right, there is a foundational premise we just have to accept right out of the gate. The way you budget for AI quietly shapes the way your entire organization thinks about it. Seriously, if you get the financial framing wrong from day one, you are inadvertently hardwiring a flawed culture around AI into your company. Budgeting dictates behavior, right? If your budget is rigid, guess what? Your innovation will be rigid. If your budget is scattered, your AI deployment is going to be scattered. The financial framing matters immensely.
So, the crucial point here is understanding the two extremes people fall into. First, if you treat AI purely as an operating expense, you fall into what we call the OpEx trap. It gets evaluated like any standard software subscription, and the second budgets tighten, it gets cut. Boom. Momentum killed instantly. But conversely, if you treat AI as a capital expenditure, you face the CapEx trap. You risk pouring massive amounts of capital into infrastructure before even proving the use case. Actually, it's basically like building a massive 6-lane highway before you even know if anyone wants to drive on it. Both of these are flawed binary extremes.
Section 2. 3 AI spend categories. Time to break that binary thinking. The real fix here. You've got to completely split your AI spend into 3 distinct categories, 3 buckets, period. That's the magic number. Each of these 3 categories operates with a fundamentally different financial logic, meaning they demand completely different treatment from your finance team. Let's break them down. Category 1 is foundational infrastructure. We're talking about the heavy lifting, data pipelines, deep integration work, and those non-negotiable security measures. This category behaves exactly like traditional CapEx. It's a foundational investment, kind of like laying the concrete for a secure data warehouse that actively enables everything downstream. You literally cannot build advanced AI applications without this plumbing in place. And because it's the bedrock, you need long-term CapEx patience and logic here. Moving on, category 2 is tool licensing. Think of your day-to-day AI software subscriptions, things like ChatGPT Enterprise or Copilot. This behaves like true OpEx, and because of that, it should be evaluated quarterly against strict measurable output. If a licensed tool isn't delivering clear value, cut it ruthlessly. Strict OpEx logic belongs here, and honestly, only here. And our third category is capability building. This covers the human element, training, prompt engineering workshops, redesigning your internal workflows. The huge misconception here is that leadership often mistakenly buckets this as a simple one-and-done project cost. It is absolutely not. Because AI tools and the skills you need to use them shift so rapidly, capability building has to be categorized as an ongoing line item. It's an evolving necessity. Section 3. The ultimate CFO mistake. The dangers of bundling AI spend.
Okay, for all the finance leaders watching, this is where the system completely breaks down. Bundling all your AI spend into one single line item makes it impossible to know what's actually working. When you just mash all the infrastructure, the licensing, and the training into one giant AI budget line on a spreadsheet, you completely obscure your true return on investment. You are basically flying blind.
And the fallout of that bundling is pretty severe. First off, AI gets reviewed as this one massive, intimidating budget number, making it an incredibly easy target during budget cuts. Second, and this one is genuinely tragic, essential long-term infrastructure gets mistakenly slashed right alongside failing short-term tools. Third, underperforming tools just hide perfectly within that giant aggregate number. And finally, everything gets evaluated on mismatched timelines. You can't judge a multi-year data pipeline build with the same quarterly urgency as a $20 software license. It just guarantees failure. Section 4. The practical budget fix. Here is how we actually solve this. Okay, let's dive into this fix because it's brilliantly simple. It's just 2 steps. Step 1. Require every single AI budget request to explicitly specify which of the 3 categories it falls into. Make them pick a bucket. Step 2. Apply the appropriate evaluation cadence to that specific request. That is the entire shift. Unbundle the requests and match them to the right timeline. To actually execute the shift day to day, you just align the category, the logic, and the cadence. So if the request is foundational infrastructure, your logic is CapEx, and you review it annually against high-level strategic milestones. Simple. If it's tool licensing, the logic is OpEx, demanding a strict quarterly review against actual usage and ROI data. Show me the numbers, right? And if it's capability building, well, that's treated as an ongoing line item, reviewed continually as an evolving program with no fixed end date. You just evaluate each piece of the puzzle on the timeline it actually belongs on.
So I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question to chew on. Are your AI budget conversations political fights, or are they clear-eyed decisions? Because when you get this categorization right, your budget meetings stop being these tense, defensive battles over one scary number, and they transform into rational, strategic conversations about three very manageable kinds of investments.
With that framework in your back pocket, you are well equipped to go untangle your own AI budget. This wraps up the leadership and change phase of our series. Next time on The Explainer, we're going to pivot into industry-specific plays, starting with the very unique AI challenges found in financial services. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.